Just in today, FEMA announces it's spending $200 million a day, partially in response to 3 major hurricanes.
The storms are getting more ferocious and in the threat of sea level rise, and homeowners need to be on notice about flood insurance.
New at 6, anchor Janet Roach joins us with more on what you need to know.
Well, David and Regina, there has been pressure for FEMA to map out flood zones that keep up with the threat of sea level rise. Right now, homeowners in high-risk flood zones require insurance, but as the threat grows, flood zones could start to grow.
So the steps in this section here is what causes this house to require flood insurance.
So technically, this is the only part in the flood zone.
Correct. This and the steps.
That goes for every house on this block in Old Town Portsmouth. And if one part of the house is in a zone, the entire structure must be insured.
Sometimes it's not a little bit, but a lot. $300–400 a month on a house that mortgage payment might only be $1,000.
Berkshire Hathaway real estate agent Michael Gray tells me increasing high water weather events are changing the way agents do business. And with the threat of sea level rise is only going to get worse.
5–6 years ago, we didn't have to worry about it as much.
But with flood map changes to better soak up the potential risk, Gray is finding homeowners being caught off guard. Here's the mortgage payment book for that house in Portsmouth. It belongs to his parents. After the flood zone boundaries snaked its way around the home, the payment went up almost $400 a month.
Most of these rates are set by the government.
This is Gray's brother's home. Suddenly, house payments went up $400 a month when the zone kidnapped his house as well. The Grays have never seen either street flood. He now tells every potential buyer to check the flood zones and get an elevation certificate.
You would call a company and they would, a surveyor, and they come out and they look and see how high your residence is off of the ground. And they look at where the major mechanicals at the house located.
Their certificate was enough to knock down the premium here, almost $200 a month. And in a rare case, it completely wiped away the need for flood insurance at Gray's brother's home.
This puddle is always here. It never goes away.
We met Mike Vernon, the flood insurance guy in Larchmont in Norfolk. It's one of Hampton Road's greatest examples of the area's recurring flooding problem.
It's 3 feet above the base flood elevation.
What Vernon does is work to get homes compliant with FEMA codes, all in an effort to lower insurance premiums, some as high as $6,000 a year.
It depends on the type of house.
The mitigation can be a 6-figure project, particularly if the house is on a slab, paid in part by a FEMA grant.
You can build a second floor and turn the first floor into non-living space. You can demolish them and rebuild, or you can lift them.
Raised, like several on this block, including Ed Guyton's home.
From July 22nd this year to October 19th, we had 57 days in a row of flooding above 2 feet.
The water spilling in from the Lafayette River. Guyton's higher home lowers his fears.
You like your home? Do you like it here?
I love it here, yeah. Now, you have no idea what it's like to not be afraid to your bones, if you will, you know, when there's a storm coming.
And we have more information on 13newsnow.com about elevation certificates and where you can check the FEMA flood zone maps. And tomorrow, we'll take a look at sea level rise in education. How are educators separating science from politics? Janet Roach, 13 News Now.